So let's talk about baby sit-ups. Okay, so this is what I call them, but really it's just working on neck and core strength. Okay, so what you're gonna do is baby's gonna start off. Sorry, I'm like not quite on this. Baby's gonna start off on his/her back. Okay, and what you're really working on is same thing as tummy time. Okay, you want it to be difficult enough that they're getting some work out of it, but easy enough that they can succeed. Okay, so a lot of times when I first start out doing this with a kiddo, what I'll do is I'll actually put like a roll, a boppy pillow, something behind their back so that they're elevated. You know, ideally in like a therapy setting, I have like a little wedge thing that I use, but obviously we don't always have that. So just some blankets piled up so that they're at a little bit of an elevated position. Okay, so we're in our elevated position. Oops, sorry, my leg's in the way. We're in our elevated position like this. Okay, so this is going to be for younger, like 1 to 2 months old. You can start working on this. Different ways to make it easier and harder. Okay, so to make it easier, you're going to really support at the shoulders here. Okay, and then you're going to bring them up like that. So this is actually a really good example because my baby has like no strength right now. Okay, so see how his neck just like flops back. Okay, so in a real baby, they would start to activate their neck muscles. So as I'm coming up, his head would kind of start to come, his chin would come towards his chest, and then he would come up like that. Okay. Shoulders is going to be easier for baby if they're really succeeding at that and you think, okay, let's do that next step. You're going to keep them elevated, but then you're going to use hands. Okay, so hands, see how much his neck flaps back now. Okay, so hands are going to be even harder for baby. Same thing, hands up. You should see as soon as his head kind of leaves the surface, his neck should kind of tip forward and he should start to bring his chin towards his chest. Okay, to make it more difficult than that, then you're going to start transitioning to making your surface flatter. Okay, so if I get rid of those, put them flat on the floor, then from there I'm going to start off. I usually just go straight to hands because if you're already putting them flat on the floor, usually you're a little bit confident with their ability to do this. But if you need to, if you feel more comfortable, you can go for the shoulders. But otherwise, I usually go for hands. Same thing. See how his neck just flops back like that? You want baby's neck to start to activate, come up as you lift hands up, and then he's gonna come to sitting. Okay, so that's my version of a baby sit up is what we call it. Okay, if you watched this back to side sitting to sitting video, that one's gonna be a progression after this. Okay, so you want baby to be showing good core strength, good neck strength in this before you transition to the back to side and then up, because in that one you're really just using the one arm and that can be kind of yanking on baby if they're not strong enough. Okay, if you're doing this and their head is just back, nothing, you're not getting any neck contraction, you need to go back to that easier movement. You need to go back to an elevated surface. Okay, because like I said, you want to make sure that they are being at least partially successful at it. Okay, so you may get to the point where, you know what, maybe they start and their neck is activating a little bit, but then they kind of let up on it. That's okay, as long as they're not crying, they are tolerating it, so that's fine. But you want them to be successful. Okay.